Hello, fellow survivors. This is Modern American Gangster with a new series for everyone. This is DAYZ Adventures with Mr. Sockavello and Modern American Gangster. Now, if you're not familiar with this game, it's called DayZ. It is currently available on PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, as well as I think they have updated the platforms to the PS5 and the newer Xbox console. So I'm playing this on PlayStation 4, and I'm playing on a modded server, but that doesn't make it any less. Now, in this game, it is lots of things going on. There is survival, there are zombies, there is hunting and fishing and base building and exploring. There is lots of stuff, and it is very hard to kind of get bored with a game of this size. Now, we are playing on the Chinaris map, which is the first and original map of this game. There is also a winter map called Sakal, and there is a kind of summer or fall type map known as Livonia. Now, each map has different obstacles, and there is also modded servers, so you could be playing a winter server on one of the other maps. So this is Chinaris that I am on. And the objective of this week's adventure is to acquire or repair a vehicle. Now, vehicles make it a lot easier to survive as they can be used for storage or for base raiding or just transportation around the map. Now, close to Mr. Sockavello's base, there is an abandoned car that needs several auto parts in order to repair. So that is my main objective, as Mr. Sockavello was busy on a different adventure. So it's often good to split up when you're going on a big adventure like this. So my main things I am looking for is either a working vehicle or I need to acquire a spark plug, a radiator, and a charged battery. And if the battery is not charged, I will possibly have to try to acquire a battery charger. A battery charger can be used by operating a power generator, plugging into the battery charger, and then charging up the battery to full capacity. Now, I have this trip marked out in a certain way that I'm going to do it. And I got a tip that these items are located at marker number 2 in an abandoned garage. So if you can see by this map, I am located at number 1 with that X, and we are going to be trying to make our way down to objective 2 or marker 2, where this auto garage has a vehicle located. Now, as you spawn into the map, around the edge of the coastline is where the spawn points are located. Now, the lore of the game is you could have been on a boat or something and you wake up on the shore, and it is your job to survive as long as you can. So imagine, if you will, you are an American on a vacation. Either there is a plane crash or a boat crash or something, and you wake up in Russia somewhere where you cannot read the street signs, you cannot read any of the labels or anything because it's all in Russian. So it is a very difficult game to navigate, but if you are a smart survivor, it shouldn't be too much of a problem just to know that you're alive and each day gets you more and more progress in the survival as a whole. So starting from objective 1, this is, you can see two X's on the screen here at location 1. The first X at the top is where Mr. Sockavello's base is located in an old world super tower. And the second X at the bottom is where my base is located at North American Gangster Train Depot Base. So, there you see Mr. Sockavello base location, MAG base location. Now, the objective we're trying to get to is far southwest of the map, and it is a long journey to get to where this car garage is. But when I first spawned into the game, I found this, and I know that there is spawning vehicles in this number 2 location. Now, the only drawback is that if you acquire one of these vehicles in one of these spawn garages, it will despawn when the server resets. So it is not a permanent fix to your transportation problem. So once you get the car and acquire it, it's better to let the server reset, and then you've got about an hour, maybe 90 minutes before that vehicle will disappear from your area. But an hour and a half is enough time where you can pretty much get anywhere on the map if you've got the vehicle gassed up. So we're planning on going from objective 1 down to objective 2. Now, within the game, this could take as much as 3 or 4 days of a journey. That's how long it's going to take to run. And the game has night and day cycles, so it does get dark, and you have to rely on creating a fire for warmth, for light, getting a flashlight, getting all your supplies you need in order to wait it out till daylight. So we're going to be heading from 1 to 2, but we're going to stop and make the journey smaller by stopping at these towns to stay hydrated and to make sure that we are eating along the way. So we're going to be looking for a vehicle, and if we find one while on the journey, we can cut our trip short. Also keeping an eye out for bandits, enemy personnel, and enemy bases. If we find a base, there is a different ways you can break in and set explosives to gain entry to an enemy base, or you can raid it for supplies, ammunition, firearms, whatever you may need. So breaking the trip into smaller stops for food and water. So the plan was to go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. We're at location 4. We would find a vehicle and we would drive back to our original location or extract the auto parts we need and head back on foot. So before leaving or setting off, you always want to make sure to have a nice full meal and to make sure you are fully hydrated. Every trip into the world can lead to death or serious health problems. And if you die in the game, you have a very small window in order to reacquire your gear. And it could take, you could be alive for weeks in this game, have all this great loot, and then get attacked by zombies and die instantly. Where then, if you do not reacquire your gear, it is lost forever and you are dead. So there are zombies, contaminated water and food, poisonous gas zones, wild animals, which are wolves and bears that will kill you very quickly. There are harsh weather, hypothermia, violent and starving survivors, as well as cannibals and all kinds of things you have to look out for when you are doing your mission or your adventures or just surviving in general. So here we're going to cut to some gameplay where I am currently preparing to head out on this massive adventure. So this is me. I'm heading towards Mr. Sockavello's base, and that's where I'm going to cook up some fish that I caught in a river and prepare for the giant trip I'm on. So you can see in the background there, that super big old world building is where Mr. Sockavello's base is located. It is a good spot for a base, and it's a good way to have a good 360-degree vantage point from where you're going. So There's a lot of running, there's a lot of zombies around here, there's a lot of things you have to look out for, and there are numerous play styles you can use. So a lot of people, if there's multiple people on the server, you don't want to be shooting as much and give your position away. Staying silent, staying out of sight, identifying threats before threats identify you. So we're making our way up to Mr. Sockavello's base. Got 3 big fish in the stream, and we're gonna cut those and prepare those and cook them up so we can take a nice, delicious meal with us as we head out on our adventure. You always gotta be careful when you're entering your base that someone isn't waiting on one of these lower levels for you to open your door. And then they will shoot you, get into your base, and they can basically steal your base. Now, this base is like super hardcore. I've been working on this base for over a month. I've got barbed wire and camo netting and metal doors, so it's harder to break into. But you got to be really careful getting in and out of your base because people could be waiting to basically kill you, and you're always on edge when you're playing this game. So we put in our base code here. It is a 4-digit base code with a secret number of 1992. And we all know why 1992 is a famous year and a famous number. So we're back in our base. We sort out our supplies. We have different things. You can get these barrels to store things. There are tents. There are wooden crates. There is tons of different ways that you can survive and live in this game. By stashing items, stashing loot, stashing supplies, and just preparing yourself for whatever may come up. So I'm going to cook this fish up. I want to eat this fish. I want to make sure I am hydrated and we've got plenty of water in supplies going with us. Now, when you're going on a big mission like this, and your objective is to acquire radiator, the car battery, and the spark plug, each item has a different amount of weight and space that it takes up. So if you're planning on getting the radiator is 20 spaces. You have to leave the space in your backpack for the radiator and the battery. So I believe the radiator is 20, the battery is 10 spaces, and the spark plug is just 1. So you need 31 extra spaces if you're going to go on foot. Now, if you have a car, the cars can store up to 300 spaces, so you'll not really run out of room with car trunk space. And different vehicles have different storage capacities, and this is how you get these barrels up to your base or poles or planks or whatever you need. Um, if you're thinking of starting this game, it's a lot of fun. There's a lot to it, but once you go through a few lives, you get a lot better at preparing and being ready for whatever may come. Now you can loot up, you can start factions, you can make friends. Okay, so I've ate my fish. I have hydrated myself. I've got everything I need to start this adventure and move forward. Now, when planning these giant adventures, few things usually go according to plan. My original plan was to follow the pathway that I had set out on the map and hit the towns up as well as keep free from survivors. So if you're going on one of these plans and instantly you get shot in the head with a headshot, all your loot's gone, you gotta start over from scratch. So as I'm getting ready to head out, there are bandits shooting zombies, and I didn't want to engage these enemy people shooting the zombies. So their shooting was like halfway from my journey from my base to the first location, and I had to immediately abandon my charted journey to the number 2 marker on the map. So they forced me all the way over to the coast where I lost them. And then I was thinking I was going to try to look for a boat on the coastline that I could take a boat all the way down the coast to where the number 2 objective was. So I went from one here all the way over to the coast because of the bandits shooting. And you never know in this game if someone's friendly, they're tricking you, you let your guard down for a minute and they shoot you in the back of the head and then they eat you. You know, you got to be very, very careful. Now, another scary thing is if you're on the coast, that's where all the fresh spawning people are. So you've got to be very vigilant when you're on the coastline looking for survivors. So I missed this first part of the video, but we're going to pick it up over on the coastline where I lost the bandits, and now I'm on the coastline, and I'm going to be looking for a boat. So let's go to that right now. And all right, I'm on the coast. Over here, I am checking these boats. These boats will spawn with supplies. I lost these bandits. I think they thought I was going inward on the land. And if you are very sneaky, you can hide around. So that's what I did. So now I'm way over on the coast, debating whether I should head back inward and follow my original plan to marker 2, or if I should just stay on the coast, where it's a little bit safer because I am fully geared and I've got an AK, so I'm going to be safe if I come up on any fresh spawn people. Now, you always check these boats. There's always ammo in it. Sometimes the ammo is ruined, worthless, and therefore you just gotta leave it because it's wet. Wet ammo will not fire and will jam up your gun. If you're really in a tight spot, don't want your gun jamming. So if some of this ammo is ruined, just leave it and move on. We'll find some more. Now, you cannot take these boats. These are like survival boats or rowboats. This is an indicator of where the spawn points are. See, you drop one box of ammo, you find another one that's under the boat and not ruined. So, when you see these boats, these giant rowboats, just know that that is where survivors are most likely landing. Now, if you follow these train tracks in the opposite direction I'm running, it would eventually lead you to my base, the modern American base, gangster base at location, the second base location that we saw earlier. I mean, this game is really beautiful. Look at these trees over here. Absolutely beautiful. Fucking beautiful. Yeah, I keep taking this stuff. It's really hard to see a box of bullets or something and not pick it up. I'm really trying. I get so much ammo. I just gotta really get in the habit of throwing it away. Definitely, you don't need it. But I am like a crazy zombie survival guy. I try to take everything I can or use all of the things that I find. Now, when I'm at this point in the game, I know there's 2 bandits that were in a town shooting. And I didn't have time to really video them or see them, so I just got out of there. But they are around somewhere, but I think I lost them. You always remember, when you see these boats, that's where survivors could possibly spawn in. From the whether there was a cruise ship that crashed or what, but new survivors are always coming all the time. And I also theorize that this is possibly like the Island movie, where they clone people, they deposit them in this world and monitor them to see how far they get. Very sketchy, but you know, as long as you're hearing those birds in the background, you're good. You know, the birds are making noise because I'm running through the woods. You would also know that there is no one else around you. It's very interesting, like, what are you going to do if you're in the zombie survival world? You know, there's not any zombies out in the middle of nowhere. I guess there could be, but the zombies are not really a threat until you get more inland where the towns were. We're looking for a boat. If we can find a boat, it'll save us so much time. There's a giant crashed tanker right over this hill, and there is poison gas. You can't loot it unless you get a specialized, like a hazmat suit that doesn't rip your skin off and give you blood poisoning. See that when we get to the top of this hill. More boats. Now you can see that big giant ship covered in gas. Yeah, see, I gotta save room if I'm gonna get the radiator and I'm hot and running. I got all my winter clothes on for the night. Let's climb up on top of this light tower and get a view of that ship frag. Pretty cool. I mean, every hill you cross, there's new stuff to find. You fall off one of these ladders, you could break your leg. You have to bandage your leg and make a splint. I mean, there's tons of things you got to be careful of. So you can see this is a crashed ship. It seems like there was some type of massive weather event that caused these giant ships to crash. We're going to go over here and get a better look. I mean, if this was a reality, there are so many extra things you could do to prepare yourself to survive. I mean, that's garden limes, so you can grow more vegetables. There's farming, you can grow stuff, food supplies. And once you get a super base like Mr. Sockavello's base, you never really need to leave the base ever. You can grow food on the roof and just stay within your little area to keep safe. Yeah, so maybe if I can find a hazmat suit, you have to find pieces. There's like boots, gloves, gas mask, filtered gas mask, jackets, pants, but there is a suit you can put on to go into these gas zones. Maybe that can be an adventure for another day, if I can find the correct pieces for the hazmat suit. If you go into that gas at all, you could get this toxic poisoning that will kill you, and then you have to get a special type of biological weapon syringe that will give you the antibodies to survive. So we want to go way around this toxic gas zone. Now, if we were further inland, we would have to worry about bears and wolves. And the wolves can be a singular lone wolf, 3 wolves, 5, or even 7 wolves in a giant pack. And you got to be really careful. The best thing is you will hear the wolves howling. I know a guy who was playing this and he was walking down the street and got hit by a car. Killed instantly, had to start over. You gotta be very, very careful in this game and be cautious all the time. Especially when you're dealing with survivors who maybe aren't as experienced in this game and they will just kill on sight. They kill you immediately when they find you. So you want to be very sneaky in this game when you are navigating anywhere. Okay, you see the boat is over on the left. See that gas cloud? You got to be very careful of that gas cloud. We've made it around the toxic zone. And now we are back on our journey to the coastline. We're going to check these boats over here. We're looking for an inflatable boat, which they are known to be found on this coastline. The only problem is that usually to find these boats, they take the spark plug out of the engine. You can't use it. Always check these because they could be valuable down there. Bullets. Those are for sniper rifle bullets. Those are 7.62R. Oh, there's a car. You know, you never know. Someone could just park a car and go on an adventure, but usually these cars are... Okay, now is this one running? No, this is a abandoned car. Box of rubber shotgun slug. Nothing. Okay, we're gonna keep on moving. I heard something. Listen. You smell something? Okay, back. Going. Now, it's hard to know if you don't know the map how to navigate it. There is apps online you can find. Okay, you see straight ahead there is a boat in the water. We're going to go out and check this boat. Now, you got to be really careful checking these boats because getting into that water is super cold and your clothes will get wet and you could die very quickly from the hypothermia of the water. Oh, if this has a spark plug in it, we're going to be so set. All right, let's check it. Now we're getting in the water, getting wet. So our boots are wet, our pants are wet, all our gear is wet. I would set my bag on the side, but I've had cases where you set your bag down and then you can't pick it back up. There's no spark plug. There's a boat here with no spark plug. We're going to have to go down further and see if we can find another one. I should have taken a spark plug with me, but my original plan was to go down the middle of the map and not go to the side here. Next time I go on one of these adventures, I will absolutely remember to take a spark plug with me. So, do I want to go over and look through this town and try to find a spark plug? I'm gonna do a quick look through this town. There's a train there. Sometimes car parts will spawn on the train. There's a zombie right over there, walking on the left. And usually, you start shooting your gun, killing these zombies. and that attracts other survivors because people can hear these gunshots way far away. So you always want to make sure you have a suppressor that will limit the sound. You know, it won't echo out as far. I mean, you can go explore that church over there. There's so many things you could do. Checking. Now I'm gonna dry out my bath because it's soaking wet. And you have to wring out your pants. If you look down in the bottom right corner, there is a health plus sign. There is your blood level, and then that temperature bar is your body temperature. And when it's blue, if it's blue for too long, you will get sick. And then you're going to need antibiotics, or you have to find tetracycline pills in order to cure your sickness. Now, there was a zombie over here. Where the fuck did he go? I like to sneak through here. Nice and slow. Rain jacket. That does not help. There he is. He's by that bush. I got this 22 and it's fully suppressed. So you always want one gun for enemies, some kind of assault rifle. If you want a handgun for the zombies or a knife or something to kill the zombie. I know there's a guy over by that bush. You never know what you're going to find. That's the other thing. Is like there could be a fully loaded car ready to go anywhere. If there's a damn guy. Oh, this is a good tactic. If there's zombies chasing you, get up on top of a car like this, take them out with your pistol. Also fire a shot like that. That will listen to those fucking things screaming. When you're playing by yourself and it's dark and these things start growling at you, fuck, that is scary as fuck. So now I just shot my AK. So if somebody was, within 1,000 meters, they're going to hear that and know that there's a survivor around. So always make sure that if you're shooting at zombies or something, you shoot and relocate after every time you shoot if you can. I'm going to check these garages over here. I really need that spark plug. And they're hard to find because it's a really small object. And then, if you start shooting people around, maybe they don't want to take a fight. I'm trying to get all the zombies in this area to run over where I'm at, where I can kill them and explore without being detected. Little 22 works great for shooting these zombies in the head. You have to look, there's Negan. Oh, Negan. You have to shoot him right in the head, though. Oh, this bitch is fucking sneaky. Fuck you. Whore. Fucking bitch. Reload my piece. I'm gonna take these drinks. I'm gonna take that food. I got plenty of food. As you can see, I was at full. My hunger meter was at full, and my water was at full. So when you start trekking across the map, it will go down. I got some salty pretzel sticks. I'm gonna eat those pretzel sticks. There's another zombie by the fence over there. You gotta be aware of all this stuff. Okay, I think we're good. Let's go through these garages real quick and see if we can find. There's nails. You would need nails for building. If you were going to try to build a base, you can build a wall across one of these things and make a small base by just creating a wall and using metal wire to fasten a gate. See, you also got to check the vicinity by bringing up your pause menu. When I'm fully immersed in the game, I try to just not do that. When you're really looking for something, you gotta be careful. You don't want to miss it. Whenever I should take this kit here, electronical repair kit. That's how you can make improvised explosions in the game or base raiding by using one of those electronic repair kits. There could be zombies in these doorways too. You got to be really careful. Sneak around. Nothing in here, dude. You know, it's like, do you stop? Now here's a truck battery. That doesn't really help unless you find a giant truck or there is Hummers in this game. I'm just going to remember that is here if I need it. Now, as long as you don't touch anything, it could stay there for a while before it despawns and something else spawns there. Work gloves, don't need gloves. What is that? Ammo. It's like you know that there could be a spark plug anywhere on one of these shelves, on one of these things, in a crate, in a locker. There could be zombies around. You got to be real careful. You got to use your sneaky powers. That is a wood saw. I do not need that. I do not want it, and I do not need it. You know, it's like you're going to spend time looking around here. If you find the part that you need, it could cut a giant portion of your time. Or you could just waste an hour searching through these crates and never finding anything that you need. This is like a police station or like a mini guard shack. There's sometimes weapons in here. There's ammo. You can find flares, handcuffs right there on the ground, which we do not need. Nothing. You may cut yourself and need rags. You can take your knife and combine it with that t-shirt and crack yourself some rags. I'm going to eat a bell pepper and get my health back up to a higher level. Great. There we go. There was a zombie around here somewhere, so be careful. Always get on top of the car first. The zombies will not be able to get you if you're up on the car. Look at all that shit someone just threw out. All that pot. Alright, let's just get out of here. Get out of here. Alright, we're getting out of here. Sometimes you just get a bad feeling. And you gotta get the fuck out of here. And that fucking creepy music. I don't like it. Okay, right there was another boat, I think. Look to the left on that one. Right there, there's a boat. Okay, let's go check that boat. Lucky there, and that one's way out in the middle of the water. So it's been there for a while. Water's taking it back out. this is where I am. I'm outside of... I got a long way to go if I'm heading for that number 2 marker. It's going to take all day to get like halfway. And I just have a feeling there's going to be no spark plug. Alright, check the boat. Something in the bottom of that boat. 1A1 telescopic butt stop. Alright, now I'm getting wet again. The more wet you get, the more dry you have to get, and then you die. Fucking no spark plug. Darn it. It's okay. We're gonna find what we need. Eventually, one of these boats will have a spark plug in it, and I think it will save us time. Oh, I'm way on the other side of the docks. I gotta go way around now. If your gear gets wet, it could get ruined, so you gotta like... Every time you get wet, you've got to dry yourself off, or you're gonna get sick. The more wet you are, the more cold you are, the faster your stats will drop. You know, it's like, oh, do you want to check all these? Now, the camouflage, the green camouflage containers have military loot in them. So it's a good idea to just peek in to these military containers and see what they got. That is the yellow helmet. A little bit of DAYZ lore there. There's another electronic repair kit. There's a box of the bullets I need. Let's go. I don't like hanging around these spots. There's always too many people sneaking. One of the things is when you figure out which server you're going to be on, make sure you kind of keep an eye out when the server is the most full and when it is empty. Now that is a lockpick set, so if you're in one of these doors, you can lock the door behind you, and that will keep you safe. There's zombies over there. You want to avoid the zombies as much as you can. Dude, I'm stocked up on food. Zombies. See, it's better if you start seeing a lot of zombies. Get somewhere. See, that guy just saw me. They want to attack me. Yeah, I'm just gonna shoot this one. Asshole. It's like, you want to make noise? Well, the zombies are going to attract people. I almost think it's better to fire a dot, get the zombies around, here they come, take them out, reload, where you kind of would have plausible deniability of which way you went. I mean, obviously you're not going to go out into the water, but... Fuck you. God, I hate these things. Dude, now I'm freezing because I got wet again. I gotta wring my pants out again. I mean, this is just like, it's painstaking, and you have to, with everything you do, is the risk, is the juice worth the squeeze? Listen to these things. Violent animals. Always wait a few extra minutes, because there's always one more. Where? Right here. This fucking idiot here. Fuck you. Not today, bitch. I don't fuck around. Alright? I'm gonna take out these zombies. I'm gonna reload. I'm gonna relocate. Check these zombies for food. They might have food on them. That guy's got duct tape. I don't need it. There's a can of sardine. Take that. Alright, and you never know where to look. You could look in this big building. There could be a base in there. And then I'm thinking like, just get out of here. Once you start shooting, you really got to get out as fast as you can. Sometimes these buildings are good. Sports shirt. I don't need that. I used a lot. I used like almost all my bullets during the Christmas special. I've almost like refilled all my bullets. So these buildings are similar, but the car that I found at the number 2 location is like one of these little buildings. It's just like a secret building with a car in it, and you have to put the tires on and assemble it all. But it's just like, just get out of here. It's very sketchy, and you don't want to be killed. Especially if you've got a sniper on the hill. Snipers could... people could be anywhere. That's why when you're doing this, it's good to kind of stop every once in a while. Listen really good. Fishing net, there's a battery. I'm going to take that battery. Always need extra batteries. You always pull up your menu to see if there's anything in the pockets of those pants. There's a radio. That's like a walkie-talkie, so if you really play this game, you know, maybe one day I'll see if I can get the radios working. Oh, you know, I should have took that. There's a radio in Mr. Sockavello's base. See, then you find more loot, you get deeper into the town, and it gets more and more fucking dangerous. Because you don't want to be in a spot where there's 5 zombies. They can overwhelm you very quickly. 9mm rounds, they don't need that. I think oh, see? Fucking zombie. I hate that noise. Look at this guy. Well, that just calls in all the other zombies, so it's better to just fucking get the fuck out of here. See, that guy's running. I would get out of there. Go, 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 run, run, run. Go, go, go. Now, if people were following you and spread out and they heard that, I mean, they can follow the zombies to wherever you're at. You're at, go, 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 get out of there. Alright, we're out of here. Still haven't found our spark plug, but we are on the harness. I'm listening. You can hear gunshots from really far away, so if all always good to stop sometimes. Listen, if somebody did hear those gunshots and the zombies are all steered up, they would then be forced to shoot and you would then know if somebody was there. You kind of get what I'm talking about. Sometimes on these bullets, little spark plugs will spawn, like where those bullets are. I would go that way on the train tracks. If you had a fishing pole, you can make a fishing pole if you have a rope and a long stick. You can get a long stick by going up to these bushes, and you can either break one with your hands or cut it with a knife, fashion yourself a fishing pole. You can also use a knife to create, there's a pistol. There's a 9mm pistol. I don't really, you know, at some point I need to make a fire to dry out my beard. I wanted to do it here, or, I mean, we haven't really gotten that far from where we started, so I kind of like to get further down the coast. I'm gonna post up in this town right here, get a fire going. Zombies cannot open doors, so always remember to shut the door behind you so that you cannot get in. I don't think I want to stop here just yet. Hatchet, I don't need a hatchet. Got a hatchet. Sometimes in these porta potties, the spark plug may spawn. Look for a boat. Right there. Okay, another boat. Let's go check this. Can you imagine? I mean, you could get lucky and there could be a spark plug in one of these boats. Hit that boat and get out of here. But there's a fishing boat. It's still got fish and plenty of food. There is a American for M16 and M4, a couple other guns. See, when the shore goes out, boom, I want to get in there. Keep my boots from getting wet. No spark plug. Okay, my health and food and hydration levels are going down. So I do want to find a spot to build a fire, dry out my clothes, dry out my boots, have a bite to eat, and we'll figure out where we're going to go from here. You never know what you're going to find. I mean, at any point, we might find a vehicle stashed. Sometimes people will stash cars around here. So you always kind of keep your eye out for bushes and trees because you can drive your car right in there. It's harder to find them. We're going to eat a piece of fish. It's not Mr. Sockavello's big fish dish, but he's still pretty good. Let's keep going and see what we find in the next. Delicioso. cooked on Mr. Sockavello's fire barrel. There's another boat over there to the left in the water. But, I mean, we've already checked 3 boats with no spark plug. I don't think we're going to find anything we're looking for. We'll check it. I'll check it. But this is like, now I'm getting into the water for the 4th time. Which sucks. The more your clothes get wet, and then the more you dry them, the faster they wear out. You could repair your clothes with a sewing kit, or duct tape or something. See, this is like deep into the water. Usually I would drop my grab here, but I don't want to lose my space. So I'm fully soaked now. Oh, smoke plug. Well, I'm getting ready to stop searching these boats because I'm like soaked now. So when you're fully swimming, you're fully drenched. And I'm thinking I better build a fire. If you do not get warm, you will die. You get sick. Your beds could get ruined because they're wet. You better stop and collect some firewood. Get a fire going. We're gonna build a fire here. See, I'm freezing. Each box of ammo contains a piece of paper which you can use to craft a fireplace. You have to have some kind of something to start the fire. Craft improvised fire. Drag the wood down, and now I have a fireplace. I could drop this right here in the middle of the room and start a fire, but I think it's going to be a lot safer to move down to the next town and use a house that has a fireplace in it. Most houses have a little stove or a fireplace that you can cook in, or if I had to, there was a fishing pole back there. I could have grabbed that for more fish, but I'm doing okay on food. I have enough food. Alright, I think I see some structures down here. What is it, a bus station? There's like a bus bench. Now, on other maps, like if you play Livonia, it rains all the time, and you're constantly wet with having to make fires. Okay, there's a couple good buildings up here that we can post up in for the night. It might be getting darker pretty soon. The server is going to reset in 10 minutes, so we do have to find somewhere to stop for the night. Block, block, punch, punch. Bitch. Hit her. Pop her in the mouth. That's boss root and training right there. That would knock that bitch straight out. I dropped my fire. Where the fuck did my fire go? Don't tell me you lost your fucking fireplace. Where is your fire? No, it was up closer towards the road, brother. Right there. Okay, I see it. Okay. Go get a fire going. Heat it up. Yeah. Right there. Okay. All right. We're safe. There's a little stove. We're going to put this in the fireplace. We're going to get this fire going. We're going to heat it up in here. Prepare for the second leg of our journey. Oh, the matches are wet. Okay, the matches are working. Drenched. Everything is drenched. We're going to use this as an opportunity to dry off, get our clothes dry, and then when the server resets, we'll call it night, and then the next day, continue on our journey. As long as you're within like 4 or 5 meters of this fireplace, you are getting a warming effect. You can see the arrow on my temperature gauge is going up. It takes a few minutes to get fully up to temperature. Not a bad idea to have a meal. Get your stats back up to full white, which is 100%. It saves a lot of time of just being by the fire. Bring out your dirty, wet clothes. Idea while the fire's going, we've got another 7 or 8 minutes before the server resets. I always like to check these little areas for fruit. Some of these trees will spawn fruit. There are pears and apples and plums. Nothing. Oh, there's another magazine for my gun. All right. That is a good thing to have. Extra mags are always important. Okay, you see that little shed up there? I gotta check that because that is what I'm looking for. There's a shed, and usually they put cars in those little sheds. So we'll check that when the server comes back on. If we're lucky, there'll be a car in that building over here. Reload my magazines. You gotta load your magazines by hand. You gotta unload them by hand. There's a lot to learn, but man, when you get going, you really get immersed in this game. Yeah, I'm gonna just, if there is a car in that, I gotta clean out my storage. I got way too much stuff. Anything that can be sacrificed has to be sacrificed because I need at least 31 spaces. I hear a zombie outside. $60 out of 64, so I need to throw away 30 things. 30 spaces. There's a zombie right over there. I got 5 minutes until the server resets. That'll give me a little bit of extra time to make some space in my inventory. Trying to figure out what I should toss. I don't need an electrical kit. You can throw that away. Eat your food. You gotta just start throwing shit away, dude. People can also see the smoke in your chimney. But when you're 5 minutes away from a server restart, it's pretty much just work as fast as you can. 3 spots in the field jacket. You click on something and you drag it up to put it in your inventory. I'm already back up to 10. I don't even know what this is. Juka or something. I don't know what that is. But it's edible. Get rid of that knife. Okay, so I've got 20 spaces. That will cover the radiator. You always need 30 spaces if you're getting 30 items worth of stuff, which the radiator is 20 and the battery is 10. I gotta check that house over there. That might be what I'm looking for in that industrial shed. But the server, I got 3 minutes left, so I gotta tighten it up. I want to dry out my backpack before the fire is gone. Split. I'm going to try that out. Camp here for the night. And in the morning, pick it back up again. Move forward for hopefully the continuing leg of our journey. Not wet. Okay, day 2. Rested, we camped up. We're going to check over here for a boat. We're going to check that little shed right over there. Look at, there's a boat right here. I'm going for it. I do got to see that building right there. That's the building I'm looking for at the other side of the map. It looks just like that. There's a fishing pole. I can get more food. There's a pole. There's a... screwdriver. Oh, spark plug. There's another zombie. Oh, shit. Oh, there's a car right there. That's gonna save so much time. This is what I was looking for on the other side of the map. There's a building like this with a car in it. You have to put it all together, but this is like perfect timing. Because the server reset, I got plenty of time to put this car together and drive back to the base, and I'll have all the supplies I need. Two radiators, a battery, a spark plug, several bottles of water. You need the water to put into the radiator so your car doesn't overheat. 5 gallons of gas, 4 tires, and a spare. So it's like, do you want to, the car, if you get caught somewhere and the server restarts and you're in the car will just crash. Because it's like an admin thing or something. But if you know these cars are here, you can use them to gather your auto supplies. So I'm going to try to, start driving back to my base. And then if it gets to the point where the server's going to restart, I can just take the radiator, the battery, the spark plug, and continue back on foot. And when we're driving back, I'll show you the car I want to rebuild. This is not like an original. I mean, this is like a custom thing. If you found an auto garage somewhere on your journeys, there would be a car in it, it seems like. So I count this as being a realistic thing. Wheels on, fire loaded. And you gotta use these bottles of water to fill the radiator. I also think these cars are fully out of gas, so you have to fill it up so much. 5-gallon gas can too. I don't know if I would drink this water. Sometimes if you find any bottle of water, do not just drink it. It will give you like cholera, and you have to take antibiotics. So you could save the bottles until you find a well. There are wells everywhere that are fresh water that will not make you sick. So be careful if you're picking up random bottles that are, on zombies. You don't want to drink that. I'm going to take one radiator in my bag, and then all I'll need to pull is the spark plug and the battery. Now, another thing you could do is just take those supplies that you need, get into the powered boat, and then boat back up the coast and head up that way. But since the server just woke up in the game, supposedly, and got a fresh day, I'm going to drive it back to my base. If we make it. Hoping there's no more problems. But it does get glitchy. When you start driving, it gets super glitchy. And, a little bit of a connection error and your car is on the side of the road broken down. Okay, this thing is out of gas, so... Alright, you gotta push it, we gotta push it. Piece of cake. I fucking ate Mr. Sockavello's big fish. Got all the strength in the world. Okay, we're gonna refuel this bitch. Also, super risky to be using a vehicle without doors because the zombies will just smash you from in the car. So you gotta be really careful until you find doors. We're gonna look because on the way, if we see a broken down car, we can always, stop and look for car parts. Okay, we're fucking ready to go, dude. This saves us so much time. Oh, I forgot to put sparkle again. Right, ready to go. Let's head back. Let's be careful. I mean, you could be driving and an ambush, someone could just ambush you and shoot you while you're driving and kill you. But we're not gonna let that happen. Alright, we're on the road. We're going back. Headed to Mr. Sockavello's base. Wish us luck. Here we go. Gotta be really careful. See how it gets glitchy like this? It will glitch, it'll freeze like this, and then you'll just wake up and your car will be fucking totaled. So I have like the worst internet ever. We're gonna be very careful. We're gonna drive back. We're gonna get back to the base way before Mr. Sockavello, and he's gonna not get how you achieve these parts. We could just tell him that we found them. No doors. I mean, this is like a four-wheel drive monster here. You can find one of those giant trucks. They have like 1,000 storage. That is like a super mobile base vehicle. I don't really know where I'm going, but I know the direction I need to go. Which is like northeastern. Always when I'm driving, you always want to look at buildings to see if there is a possible base built in one of these. And if we do find a possible base, I do have an improvised explosive. We can blow it up and look inside, but that'll probably be an adventure for another day. But once you got what you need, it's best to just focus on the objective of returning to your base, getting your stuff that you need, then plan on going on another adventure some other time. I mean, we just took a 4 to 5 day journey and cut it down to 2 days. That's pretty good. Hopefully, when we meet back up with Mr. Sockavello, he is going to identify what we need next. Somebody stole my last vehicle and escaped, and we've been looking for the guy's base so we can get back our stolen truck. Now, I don't know if we're going to find it. I do have the idea. Mr. Sockavello and I know possibly where this guy's base is. And eventually, we're going to hit it. There's a police station right here on the left. Usually, if you're on a coastal spawn, that's a good place to find weapons and gear. Also, any military type tents are good. You gotta be really careful because it starts glitching and the zombies will just beat your brains out of the time. You gotta just be real careful navigating these little checkpoints. Nice and slow. Definitely don't want them anywhere near the door. Sneak through. We're off on our way to Morocco. This taxi is tough on the spine. Yodeling. Song from when I was a kid. Nice. Got the fucking vibe going. I could turn the radio on if I had a radio. Diver, you've been down too long in the midnight sea. What's becoming of me? Ride the tiger, you can see his stripes, but you know he's clean. Something is coming for me. Let's go. Ronnie James Dio, everybody. If I had a radio in here, that's what I'd be listening to. Alright, when you get past the towns, it gets a little less glitchy, but there's lots of houses and shit you have to load in, so you gotta go really slow through the town. Alright, let's let's get this thing in high gear. There's so much to explore. Every one of these houses you can go into. I don't really know where I'm going, but I know kind of where the base is located. I should go to the right, but there's one of these cars. Look at the zombies over. Bumper sandwich these niggerloops. Smash them, smash them. Don't let them get to the door. You can't let them get to the door, they'll fucking smash you. And then if you get a cut while driving, you have to stop, get out, and bandage. Pain in the ass. Fucking horseshoe up your ass, my man. Oh, I'm hoping there's a door on this truck. Hit him. Hit him. I'm gonna jump out and see if I can get this thing. I can take the hood off. We can have the hood at least. Great. That's good. Okay, well, we got a hood. In my head, I'm thinking this car is going to despawn whenever you stop. So if the server is going to restart in 45 minutes, that's how long you have to talk. It's not a official car in the world. It's just temporary kind of transportation. Also, if you're just driving and it gets super glitchy, there might be a base nearby. Okay, now moving forward, this is the town we were at when we were looking for those boats and we got on those trains yesterday. Is this town. So we're almost back at least halfway to where the Mr. Sockavello base is. Now remember, you gotta slow down by these towns. Looking right. Boom! Creeping. Sneaking and creeping. Gotta be real careful because this is really touchy. This building dead ahead is a fire station, also a good place to find fire gear is high insulation and you can carry a lot. So if you're ever in this neck, this fire building is a good building to look through. These areas on my right are industrial, where you can find a lot of base building supplies that you need. There's a fire truck indoors there. See, if I didn't have to get back, I'd go through and look through these areas and see what I could scavenge. There's a medical building down there and another one of these trucks. This is a UX. So I think we're gonna back down here and see if we can find a door. Even though it's like, fuck, you don't really need it because the car's gonna despawn, but if this was the zombie apocalypse, this is what I would do. Now, these blue buildings here are medical areas, like a hospital. So if you have some kind of sickness, you're gonna want to be parking around here looking for meds, tetracycline for if you have some kind of an infection. There are charcoal tablets for your gas mask if you're trying to build a gas suit. There are pox injectors, which will help you if you are stuck in one of these chemical gas zones. It will cure you of that. See, this guy's gonna kill me if I don't get out. Without a door, they'll hit right through me. Real careful. Okay. See, I already don't like it. I want to get the fuck out of here. Look, we're gonna... check. These broken doors, you cannot use them. We're gonna run through this hospital and see if there's any medical supplies we can get. Those are charcoal tablets. You can also check these neighboring buildings. They have medical stuff will supply, will spawn around those areas. EpiPen. For people who don't know, they have these EpiPens for when you have a seafood attack or something, you're supposed to give yourself these EpiPens. But I heard that the reason EpiPens are so expensive, EpiPens can be like hundreds of dollars a piece, or if you eat like crab or something and you're allergic. But I heard that the expired EpiPens are like a knockoff version of adrenochrome. Give you the same kind of synthetic adrenochrome type high without the hallucinogenic properties. So these, rich people buy these EpiPens in giant doses and wait for them to like expire, and then it's like a synthetic adrenochrome. Not, it's like it just gives you the physical high, not the mental high of seeing the demons and the gnomes and the jester creatures and things like that. See, whenever it just starts glitching, you just gotta stop for a second and let the game catch up. That sound is like you trying to sneak. When you hear that, it's like, oh, stop sneaking and run. There is another police station on the left. That's what these yellow buildings are. Also, there's some good police loot in there and guns. Now, this up here on the right is a train depot. Same exact building I have my base in. Now, see, this building is where we found the car. So I'm gonna maybe stop and check, see if if there is another car in this building, we will grab the battery and spark plug. Oh, dude. They'll hit you from the car. Okay, I'm just going to check real quick to see if there is car parts in here. And no, there is not. Okay. Maybe I'll check to see if there's a driver's side door on this truck. And there is no door. There is a back hatch. I don't know why I'm going to. I wouldn't do this. You're going to lose the car, but it's just a habit, I guess. We move real slow when we're carrying things with 2 hands. Hear that? Ah, yeah, it's like a goat. So there's all kinds of animals you can hunt. There's goats, there's pigs, there's cows. I think they added horses. I haven't seen a horse yet, but there's deer, there's elk, there's like wild boars, there's pigs, there's foxes, there's rabbit, chickens, fish, 2 kinds of fish. This is a carp fillet. I believe there's also smelt. What are you doing? Yeah. Not a good idea to stay in any one place for too long of a time. We got just enough room for that car battery, and if we eat the fish, we'll have plenty of. We're going to eat some chocolate. Okay, have a chocolate bar. Gorky. The battery is 10. All right, last leg of the trip. Now, right here is where we saw that church coming the other way when we were going up the coastline. Now we're going back down the coastline the other direction. Okay, remember, this is where we shot the zombies, where that thing is on the right. I mean, like I said before, you follow these train tracks, you go all the way to my base from these train tracks. So it's a good way of navigating. There's the train I checked out. But I think we're going all the way to the base. Four-wheel drive, bitch. You can see the ship crash up ahead on the right side. Now remember, we went all the way up this coastline, going up until we found this car. So we really lucked out finding this car. Which now I assume there's probably these car stations, every whoever knows how far apart they are, but it seems like if you spawn on the coast, you can find yourself a vehicle and get back to your base within an hour or 2 hours, depending on how long you want to go. Looks like a military type checkpoint. This would have been set up when the zombie apocalypse started. But as you can see, the military is gone. Do I want to get out and check this? I don't really want to get out anymore. I'd rather just get back to home base. So you could, if you were on a server you could build a neat little base right there. Set up booby traps in the road, set up other ways to stop people from going through. This road should go all the way to the town that the base is located, I'm guessing. Got to be super careful that the internet doesn't glitch out or something, because it'll freeze for a second and then you'll just be pointed right into a tree and broke down. So you start getting close to the town again, and it starts getting glitchy again. It's got to load in all this stuff. So I'm hoping eventually, maybe next year, I'll upgrade to the PlayStation 5, and I won't have any of these loading problems anymore. See, it's getting super glitchy. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Every time somebody fucking checks their cell phone, my fucking internet is... There's another Negan. I don't have doors, so it's like glitches I could die. It's why I really fucking hate it. Get out of there. You need to take a right here. Yeah, you need to take a right. Let me get out of here. Those trees might have apples. You always gotta look and know the difference between the fruit trees and the regular trees. Oh yeah, okay, I know the right road. Yeah, this road here will go all the way to Mr. Sockavello's house. Oh, it sounds like there's a ton of zombies behind us. We're gonna open it up and get out of here as soon as we get past this little town. Yeah, you can follow those train tracks, and that'll take you to my base also. Okay, so technically from like right here, it's like walking distance. It'll take a while, but we could just walk in. So from here on, it's like all a win. There's a military checkpoint up here. Good spot to get military type loot, clothing, weapons, ammo. But we're going to try to just get right past this town and get back to where we started from. There is military Humvees in the game. I have not had the pleasure of driving one yet. And I've been playing this game for years, so sometimes it's harder than you think. As soon as I get past these fucking zombies, I'm fucking out of here. Right there, that building up there to the right is a good base spot. I would check it, but I don't want to lose my stuff, so I'm gonna get that. I hate this zombie. I hate that bitch. There's two crashed trucks right here. I might be able to find more. Although, at this point in the trip, it doesn't really matter. There is no driver's cycle. Okay? We're gonna check them. Anyways, we're almost home. We're almost back to Mr. Sockavello's base. Nothing. 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 Okay. Ooh, a Coca-Cola. Not a cola. I'm gonna drink that right here and celebrate a job well done. Delicious. All right, next stop, Mr. Sockavello. You can see the train tracks going through the trees on the left side. That goes all the way to my base. I'll show you where the car that I'm trying to repair is located. It's right down the street. There's a power substation over here on the left, on the other side of that bridge. This is a giant industrial area. Lots of building supplies. Good place if you are looking for a sledgehammer, which is crucial in base creation if you want to make a flagpole. Flagpoles in this game, if you build a flagpole in your base, it will last a lot longer. It's like a renewal tool. Sometimes vehicles may spawn over in this area, so it's good to kind of check it if you are going out. Spawned vehicles, so you will, if you're in industrial areas, keep your eyes out. There's another one of those buildings on the, right there on the left side with the car parts, but not all of them spawn car parts. Okay, if you can remember, this area is getting very close to where we need to be. Yeah, there's another one of those buildings with the car parts. I mean, if there was a car that spawned there, I'd be set, but not all of them have anything in them. I'm going to do a quick check. Nothing. What is that? Boots in the ground. Okay, nothing in there. Now, you never know what is going to spawn where. Next time I go, I'm going to definitely... I'll take the spark plug with me. I'll get a boat. I can drive back to that area where we found the car and get some extra parts if I need. Zombie on the right and those trees. We also got to remember that when you park this car and the server restarts, the car is going to be gone. So we made it just to where we need to go. Now up here in this parking lot, if you see there is a gray car in the back right there. That is the car I'm trying to repair. And I need the radiator, the battery, and the spark plug back there. So the next journey we go on will be driving in back. We're wrapping this up. We're back to where Mr. Sockavello's base is. He's over on the left side. Maybe we'll see it when we come around here. Mr. Sockavello lives in that giant tower. You can see his base up there floating in the sky. Don't get knocked out now. That giant building. Whoa. That one knocked the wind out of it. I hope you guys enjoyed this little journey, adventure. We're bringing this to an end. Thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. Follow for more information. Follow for more DAYZ adventures and survival guide. Till then, this is Modern American Gangster signing off. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time for sure. Back at Mr. Sockavello's area, we're going to deliver these car parts, we're going to rest up, we're going to have a meal, and then we're going to head back to our base to maintain it, keep it maintained. So, all right, I think that was a total successful mission. Absolutely, we're back where we need to be. We're going to take our battery, we're going to take our spark plug, and mission completed.